Good day, welcome back on a new YouTube video. This time on Brent Oil. And I said that I enjoy trading, especially during the London session, and then of course on the first few hours open around 9, 11, 12 Europe time, the start of the London session. Why? Because there is a lot of volatility around that session. Once again, this is not crude CL, this is Brent oil. This is extracted out of the North Sea, Brent, same price behaviors. Usually the two, US oil and Brent oil, the North Sea oil, is moving most of the time in the same direction. It follows each other pretty nicely. But yeah, I like the behavior of Brent oil a lot, because it follows trend directions pretty nicely. It's well respected on the footprint as well. We can see large clusters of orders coming in. We see a lot of volume are floating in, and delta shifts are pretty insane on this asset. So it moves a little different than indices, but if it moves, and it's respecting those levels pretty well. Equal highs, equal lows, value area highs, value area lows. As many of you know that having the wheel order, where I'm talking about, simple equal lows, equal highs, supply and a month levels. And once it returned back to these levels, it's pretty nicely to see on the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute how price get absorbed. How that orders are floating in the market, and how large contracts are traded on the bid or ask side in terms of institutional order flow. Right here up front, you can see I have highlighted a couple of levels of imbalance, matching up pretty nicely with an equal high level as well, where we're trading in for pretty a while. Moving to trading view to give you an idea where I'm talking about, around this level right here, this supply area where we were trading in for almost 2 days or something like that. We feared to break to the upside, created a nice spike to the upside, which forms an equal high level on a larger time frame. Then shifting back to the lower time frames, you can see how price, this value area high, respected pretty nicely. So over and over again we turn it back to this level. With the large push into this level is where we saw this morning floating in large institutional orders on the ask side, with a large shift in volume and a large shift in delta numbers. And on the left we could also identifying that this imbalance level was a large level of imbalance. So it was no guessing, it was simply validated on the order flow tools, which makes it even nicer. So I knew if we have that liquidity push in that equal highs, and we have that shift in volume, so that that volume shift is increased. So I'm gonna show you that as well. That volume, how that volume is traded. If you're looking more to the left, on the green bars right here up front, we see much numbers in the 100. But once price returned back to this level, we saw something happening, around 11:30. We saw that the 100 numbers were changing from the hundreds into the thousands. So that means there is something happening within the volume. So there isn't a big party. Someone is interested to sell at that specific number. And if you're looking more to the left in terms of the future data on the order flow, you can also see that it's a 75 number, which I explained also in my other videos. It's a round number. So institutional number, that's how we call it, because round number, good price, and we saw that spike. So there was a deep spike of liquidity within this level. There was someone, or someone big or big whale are willing to sell around this edge, because that's how you have to see it, and that's also what we saw around 10 and 11 to 12, a large shift to the downside, which was great. If we moving a little bit more to the left, you can see as this moves continued to the blue clusters, we could see that their delta was shifting from pretty positive to large negative delta numbers. And as the move continues, you will see that there is majority of the time more red than black, than positive, because it's sell orders in the market, so that will move the price. Of course, we have little pullbacks, but usually with Brent, if Brent moves, it moves hard and smoothly, and usually fill entire price ranges. So we saw a large imbalance to the upside. We saw a great liquidity spike in a level that we feared to break for almost 2 days, 48 hours. So that are pretty nice signs, as well the delta, the volume, imbalance on the tops. If you're looking more to the left, you can see a lot of imbalance on the tops right here. This red line is a large number of imbalance more to the left. First attempt back, we saw some pretty negative delta, which a little bit more volume if you compare it with to the left, but it was not there yet if you compare it with the second wave back to this level. So that let's test of that grab of orders. If you compare it with this to this, there is a huge difference in volume, and there is a huge difference in the delta and the volume numbers, and as well in the imbalance. So there was a last wave to the downside, which is a little bit higher, and then price absolutely tank to the downside to fill that entire range. So that is the beauty about Brent Oil. Pretty simplistic approach to it. It's pretty simplistic analysis. It's really a waiting game to see that institutional whale orders are executed, from minute to minute. Otherwise, you will be too early or be too quick, or you will stop it out. So it's important to know the asset you trade, which number of imbalance to look to, which delta numbers, how big the volume should be if you compare it with every move during that specific session. And how you can test it? You can test it simply to journal your trading, to journal your wins, your losses, and to create a journal for yourself with at least 20 or 30 London sessions on that specific asset. For this example, it's Brent, to understand what does the price do during that specific session. How big are the delta numbers? How big is the volume? So then you get statistics, and that is where you want to trade based off. That is with technical trading, that is with more the institutional side of trading, and that is with everything. So then you are able to put yourself in the best position possible. That's also what I talked in the last videos. Try to put yourself in the best position possible. But it's important to journal your trading, Receiving a lot of messages as well from a lot of traders that they succeed. They succeed for the challenges. They become finally consistent. So that is a great thing to read. But keep in mind, I also tested on my timeline. But this is a process of many years for a lot of people, from failures to struggles, and then they finally found their edge in trading, find that little bit more institutional side of trading, to see the data, trading on real facts instead of purely technical analysis. With all my respect for traders that only trade purely based off technicals, but to get more clarity in your trading. I think that institutional tools are really the missing piece for a lot of traders, and I'm receiving a ton of messages over the weeks. It's sometimes it's hard to to answer everyone, trying my best where I can, but you know, I'm not a robot, so yeah, take time to time. Sometimes I'm missing messages, but that's life, you know. Anyway, so that is great. Congratulations on everyone who finding their edge in their trading, succeeding for challenges. Yeah, you know, I think a challenge is a great opportunity to gain more capital, you know, and to fund your own live account in the near future. For people that don't have the funds to do that instantly, in my opinion, there's no need to fund instantly a large account. First, find your consistency in your trading, and after that, you can always looking forward to funded companies or gaining more capital out of your business or whatever you do. There are plenty of opportunities, but first try to find your edge within trading. See what works for you. You know, we have a lot of traders that only trading supply in a month and being successful. We have traders that trade supply in a month and apply the Orderflow tools and have a better hit rate. You know, for everyone, this is really different. Yeah, this is just a little message from me. My take on Brent Oil, like I said, focusing on it majority of the time during the London session, and then the first few hours, usually a large tank in price, you know. So yeah, just a little different approach. Nasdaq, US 30, crude and Brent Oil, amazing assets, large waves in price from day to day, week to week. Okay, it's almost 1 o'clock in the midday right here. We're heading down to the New York session, but I think my day is done. I had a great trade on Brent Oil today, shorts, targeting half of this price range and took profit on it on this great stuff, you know. Another keynote I want to give, market profile. Also a great tool to help you out to see where potential volume is traded, you know. Right here on the right side you see the red line, which is the point of control, and you see also that little gray volume spike that you can see where the most traded volume is on that specific session, and also the market profile even on the daily and the weekly was trading around this edge, and once this broke to the downside, it's also another criteria within your trading to see, okay, that's where the volume is traded, that is where I want to be, and if you compare it with the delta volume and all the imbalance on the tops with an equal high levels that we failed to break for a couple of times, there was your trade. Much criteria to follow. Not all your trades will be winners, but you know, I think you can have a great hit rate with Orderflow. Okay, on to the next video. Wish you all a lovely trading day or whatever you do. Enjoy. Peace out, Kev.